Welcome to the first episode of the Daybreak Future Podcast.
Pumped.
I'm excited we're doing this.
Pumped.
My name is Ben, and I'm joined with...
I'm Chandler.
I'm Christian.
And if you don't know who we are, it means you probably don't go to Daybreak Church in
Yep.
Carlsbad, California, which is awesome. We're glad you found us.
Yes.
We happen to run the youth and young adult ministry here.
Yep.
Christian, we're just not really sure what he's doing yet.
I bring the good looks to the table, so
Yeah. And he speaks in cursive sometimes.
I do speak in calligraphy.
Haven't heard of that one yet. We oversee youth and young adults at Daybreak Church. It's awesome. You should check it out if you live in the area, or if not, drive like 6 hours. It's all cool.
It's worth it.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Chandler, do you want to walk us through some of the heart and the idea of
Yes.
this if someone's joining on?
Yeah, so Future Podcast is here so that we could just have a conversation about what's happening in culture, what we're learning, and then what we're teaching our young people. And so this is really a hope to talk about the culture for middle school through young adults, the content that we're teaching on a week-to-week basis, and giving a deeper dive and unpacking some more of a little bit of culture, but a lot of bit of spirituality and faith, and kind of whatever comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we kind of figured out that just once a week gatherings and the content that we're putting out, especially after like so long of COVID-19 not being able to maybe give it out. This is really for you guys to get a deep dive into what we're talking about on Sunday and Monday nights, what's going on in our lives, what's going on in our hearts, and what's going on in the world. We want to make sure we're creating an awesome environment for you guys to be able to find music, content, things to watch, just awesome positive things that you can watch on your own time, and that's why we're here and that's why we're doing this. So this is the Future Podcast, episode 1. We're glad you're here, but we're going to start off with the first subject, and this is one of my favorite things I think we're going to do because we live in a world, we have phones, we have computers. Yes, we are youth pastors, but we still have TikTok. Christian, any thoughts?
Yes, TikTok's huge. I have 10.5K followers on TikTok. Small creator, no big deal, but
no clout.
fun stuff.
He actually does.
I do.
I didn't even know you had TikTok.
I
you
regret saying that. Actually,
you shoot film cameras, and so I figured you're like, oh, dude, forget TikTok.
He loves it.
He
loves it.
Interesting. Wow, I can't wait to go spam your TikTok later.
Absolutely.
Please
so
don't do
this
that.
is a subject we are calling
What's poppin'?
Who you? This is
Brand
one of
new
my
web.
favorite parts.
Just hop
Shout
in.
out Jack Harlow. And this
Friend
is
of
where
the
we're going to be
podcast.
talking about I Wish. Maybe one day sponsor us.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the music we're listening to, the things we're watching, sports, culture,
Culture,
all of it. We're
the
just going to
life.
bring it to you. I want Chandler to start us off.
Yeah.
Music you're digging right now. What do you got?
Music I'm digging right now, heavy brass tracks. They're a funky, kind of like soulful, lot of horns, lot of instruments.
Is there a lot of brass in there?
lot of
Lot of
brass
brass,
instruments,
brother.
you know.
Right.
It's just great vibes. Our boy Eli on the backside, tech guy.
Trap
Look at
guy.
those traps.
Huge traps.
Traps are
Also a
quivering.
huge brass tracks guy.
Quivering.
So that's what I'm listening to. Really excited, looking forward to what's happening. The day this actually is going to come out is the Chris Stapleton album.
Yeehaw.
Awesome.
You know, even if you don't like
Right.
country, even if you
Not
don't
yet.
like country, you got to give Chris Stapleton a listen. The guy's a legend. You can't deny it.
Yeah, I think because I'm not like as old as Chandler. I haven't.
There it is. I was waiting.
I haven't. I don't have to shave yet. I'm more like into the Little Pump and all those kind of things. But
Tough.
records I'm on right now, Little Pump. Laney just came out with a record called Mama's Boy. If you
Unreal.
don't know who Laney is,
So good.
I'm waiting for my merch in the mail.
Go listen.
Wow.
Oh, you got some.
Cowboy in LA.
Wow.
It's my life.
This record is incredible. I can't say enough about it.
So good.
And then there's this guy named Giveon.
Beautiful.
Do you know who Giveon is?
Yes, I do. He's an R&B artist.
Yes,
he
he is.
kills it.
He's
He
phenomenal.
got put on. He did the on the last Drake project.
Yep.
He did just like one chorus or something,
and it
Yes.
exploded.
and it exploded. And then
Yep.
he put music out. And this guy's voice is like so deep. I can't even. It's incredible, but in a beautiful way.
It's like a soft deep. It makes no sense.
It's
incredible.
like being kissed by an angel, some would say.
That's tough.
It's a
dare I
lot.
say.
It's a lot. So we actually at Daybreak Youth and Young Adults, we created a playlist for you guys. That'll be in the link in our bio of both of our Instagrams. So if you want some music to listen to, go check it out. And also,
full spectrum.
Christian, you shot the record cover for our actual
Wow.
favorite song.
Wow.
Do you want to tell them about
Best
that
song
one?
of all time.
Seasons.
Let's go.
Guys, this
There is a
single that we put out
place.
there. Okay, there we are.
Julius featuring Marcus.
Yes. It's an incredible song, and I had a lot of fun shooting the cover art.
Unreal.
So go check it out.
Yeah,
It's on
definitely
Spotify.
check it out.
Seasons.
It's our own song. We're just
Yep.
plugging it. We're plugging it. Okay, we have music, but I want to jump to movies and TV. Anything you
Yes.
got, Chandler?
Yeah, so big documentary guy. So I love
Okay.
Social Dilemma. Netflix turned off all my notifications on my phone.
Intellectual, huh?
This thing's crazy.
Yeah, Social Dilemma, you got to watch it. It's beautiful. It doesn't go too crazy into the conspiracy theories, which I like, because when they start going conspiracy theory, they lose me. It's just facts. And then, prepping for the series that we're in the midst of, Soul Ties, all about relationships, love, and everything like that, yes. I've been filling myself with what not to do by watching Married at First Sight. And I've been doing that.
Crazy.
My girlfriend loves it, and so
Let's
that's
put him on it. Let's put him on.
You gotta watch it.
Okay.
Married at First Sight is the worst television, but the best. Like, I was watching it, I was like, this is so dumb. I found myself 20 minutes later leaning forward.
Oh my god.
Like, literally, my body leaned forward because I was so engaged.
That was
like, this
actually
is
me the first time I watched The Bachelor. This
unreal.
last
That comes out
Shout out
next
Hannah
week.
Ann,
That comes
if
out
you're
the day
watching
this
this.
podcast comes out. That
Love The Bachelor.
first episode comes out.
That's awesome. That's
We're
awesome.
ready.
So
Ben,
I
what are you
think-
watching?
Well, I'm like the biggest movie theater guy.
Yeah, you are.
Do you like movie theaters?
Oh my god.
Well, my brother hates movie theaters. But I love it. I love the popcorn. I love the snacks. The whole deal.
Best popcorn.
And here where we are, they actually just reopened movie theaters.
Yes.
I have
they
big news though.
did.
They
What?
actually are closing all the Regals.
They
Like
didn't
the
make it through.
business
They didn't
make it
shut
through.
down.
I just got the news like
Wow.
5 minutes
Rips.
ago.
As long as Cinepolis is open
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the reclining
Cinemark?
chairs. It needs reclining chairs.
Yes.
So I saw Tenet.
Yeah, you told me about
Or
this.
is it
So
Tenet?
good.
It's backwards and spelled the
Tenet.
same thing, and that gives into the movie.
Palindrome?
It's
Tenet.
one of those
Oh,
movies
no.
you leave just mad confused.
Oh
Like,
yes.
Inception
Inception times
Yes,
5.
Inception, same guy who created
Right.
that.
Yep.
Uh,
Christopher Nolan.
but it's dope. So if you
The
want to
best
go to a
filmmaker.
movie and it feels safe,
Well.
go see Tenet.
Yep.
I love it. Okay, cultural moments. This is my
Yes.
favorite. This is really just anything we think, for the most part, is funny or we are
Yes.
confused by or
Right.
we like. We're like bombarded with a million things, I feel like, a day.
Yeah. What catches us?
What catches us? Chandler, what do you got?
A big sports guy, big LA guy, just so you know. So right now is a great time to be an LA sports guy. We got the Dodgers
Yes.
running wild on the Padres. Hopefully by the time
Padres
this airs, that has aged well. I imagine
Yeah.
it will.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
So my cultural moment is actually happened in Game 2 of the NLDS, where Cody Bellinger snagged a home run from.
We have the
Fernando.
clip. We have
Yeah.
the clip. Let's watch
Roll
it.
it- let's roll the
watch
clip.
the clip.
Roll the clips.
All has. You saw 100 already.
This is a scary moment.
Bat.
It's off the bat, and I'm like, the game's
They
like,
go
this,
Slam
this is
Diego.
scary. You know, like,
So
and
boy!
then
Slam Diego who?
Wow.
the best part though is that just before this, San Diego had hit back-to-back home runs and celebrated like they won the World Series, like they always do, because they don't know how to win because they never do. And
What's the dude with the dreads names? I don't know.
Fernando Tatis Jr. He's
People
actually
love
really
him.
good. He's
No,
great.
he's trash.
No, he's good. Manny Machado's trash.
Okay.
So Manny Machado, after that happens, walks out and starts screaming and throwing a fit because the Dodgers were celebrating when they literally like lose their minds anytime they get a single. And I was like, you guys are the most hypocritical, worst baseball organization of all time.
Wow.
So that's how I feel about San Diego Padres.
Sounds good. Okay, here's my cultural
Sorry that I got angry.
moment. Here's
Love you.
my cultural moment. This is one
Oh,
that has
yes.
been so close to my heart because for
it's
some
beautiful,
reason
honestly.
it's just like
It's a
beautiful.
heartthrob. For sure.
I was introduced to speaking in cursive about
Such a blessing.
how long?
Did someone say cursive?
I don't know. Okay, this is the video. I'm gonna pull it up for you guys. This is the video
Yeah.
that got me caught, and now I find myself nonstop speaking in
Nonstop.
cursive.
I ordered a coffee in cursive. No, Corey.
I love this kid.
I want coffee. No. Hello. No. What do you want? Can I have? No. Hold on. Corey, if you don't tell me what you want, you're not
The
getting
mom's
it.
patience
All right, I'm
is
driving away.
amazing.
Could I have a medium coffee? Corey, talk normal or you're not ordering it.
My favorite is the Boston accent.
No, I want the coffee.
Just the Boston accent. Talk normal or you're not getting coffee. It's like, what's wrong with him speaking cursive?
Dude, these are one of those things that like nobody understands except the
Ugh.
people who have seen it.
How'd it happen? How did
It
this
happened
knows,
with
he knows.
Grace Vanderwall. She was on
Yeah.
America's Got Talent. She sang the song, I'm going to sing an original for you guys.
It's like that indie singer
Yes.
thing that they do.
They try to make their voice like sound pleasurable,
like
but
what?
it's not.
It's like
But, like,
Passenger.
How did it
Yes.
happen?
Go.
Like, how did we get to this moment where Grace Vanderwall goes on American Idol and thinks to herself before she goes, I'm gonna sound better if I change my syllables?
Har.
My vowels.
I don't know. All I know is like literally the last 3
So
times I've
bad.
gone to Chick-fil-A or something, like I will just start and do it, and the people aren't even surprised at this point. Like I think it's just like become like
you know why I'm here.
Australian
Hello,
accents,
can
French
I-
accents, cursive. Like it's just like it's one of the things
Yeah, it's,
now.
I think it's probably the most romantic accent you can
Well,
have.
Speaking
That's
of
kind
romance,
Yeah.
Chandler, tell us about the series we're jumping in.
Yes.
Actually, we just got to experience it this
Yeah.
last night and
It's a good
before.
one.
Yeah, we just launched a series that we're both really excited for called Soul Ties. It's all about dating, relationships, love. That one word that I'm not going to say because this is for like youth and young adults. Young adults, we're talking about it. Youth, we're going about it in a little bit, softer way. But we're really excited for the Soul Ties series.
Yes, we are.
Soul ties. What do you think of when you hear the word soul tie? Because I think it's a
I
little.
want you
I
to
want to
answer
ask
this.
him
Yeah.
honestly. He's
Because
the
I know what
youngest
I'm going
one
to think
here.
of.
When
But
I think of soul ties,
yeah.
I honestly think of,
He's nervous.
I think I can say the word because it's kind of
Okay.
explicit.
Okay,
but
okay. You think
you
of
know.
physical intimacy is a
Yes,
great way to
exactly.
say that.
Yes,
That's
I would
awesome.
say that would maybe be a part of it. I
Right.
think
Small
what we're looking at here, though, is
Yeah.
no matter who you are, how old or young you are,
Yep.
Right.
our souls have ties to certain things.
Yep.
Whether that is a person or a relationship, and in our case, being a faith church, we believe
Yep.
our soul tie should be to Jesus.
Right.
So the whole point of the series really is talking about, one, where is your soul tied to? Where
Yep.
are you giving energy to in your life when it comes to relationships? And two, what does Scripture have to say about relationships? Because
Yep.
I think the world is trying to paint a picture of how to date, love, fill in the blank all across the board. And I think we've gotten away a little bit from
Big time.
what is the actual Word of God, the one thing that will never change, the one thing that matters more than any opinion say about relationships. And that's what we're trying to tackle.
Yep.
Yes.
Trying to just, and I think also just reclaiming the conversation. I feel like, especially when I was growing up, the church kind of talked about relationships, dating, and love in a way that was very much so like, well, just be strict about your boundaries and wait until you're married. And it's like, okay, well, how does that tangibly help me in this moment?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like my goal in it is to like have a conversation with young adults where it says like, hey, the marriage age is getting later just because of like graduation rate. I mean, the graduation time, school time for college is getting longer. Like everything's getting pushed back later and later. That we're seeing people be single later in their life than we ever have before. Right. And so it's like, well, what do we do in this? And how can we actually tangibly take steps to honor God in this time before we're married? And I think it's a good conversation for us to have because I always love to say you're either getting information at the church or in the locker room. And if you get it in the locker room, you're not getting the information in the way that you should be.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I think so many young people, and I did this for a long time, we like classify certain areas of life to be like church life and then like school life or my friend life.
Totally.
And I preached on this last week, but just the reminder that Christ didn't just come to like heal our vertical relationship between us and God, but also heal our horizontal relationships between people, right? And that's what I'm trying to bring to light for our young people is that, hey, God's given us a roadmap of how to do relationships, how to even date, I would say, how to treat people, friendships, all across the board. And we just want to talk about it because if the world is already talking about it and the church isn't loud about it, this is just where I would encourage you like to press in on this one because these are things that like all of us are going to be in at one point in our life or already are. And we just want to teach you how to do it in a biblical manner. Like we haven't figured it all out, but we're just trying to go straight to Scripture and say, what does Scripture have to say about this? And how can we do it the best way to honor God? Chandler, what would you say would be some of the biggest mistakes you see young people make when it comes to the concept of dating, relationships, even friendships?
Yeah, I think it's what we unpacked last night at Young Adults, and it's this concept of loving for love rather than loving from love. And so going into relationships, whether it be even your relationship with your parents, your siblings, your best friend, and especially a romantic relationship with a partner, is going into that relationship seeking to receive love from them for your own approval or for your own understanding of love. Whereas we have to, especially as Christians, understand that love came from God into our lives, and then we love other people out of that. And we don't love other people so that we can experience it, because when we get our understanding and our experience of love in an earthly way, it's always going to be imperfect. It's always going to leave us broken. But when we come into those relationships knowing that they're broken, and and especially in a romantic relationship, two people coming together that understand that they're loved by Christ and they're seeking to show the other person Christ's love for them, like that's what marriages are built on, you know? And so it's in the same way, that's how friendships, parental relationships, everything has to operate in that understanding. And so I think the biggest mistake is people going into relationships for the purpose of feeling love or like understanding what love means.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would agree completely with that. And just to piggyback on that one point you said of getting into relationships to just feel love. I think so many people mask the real issues going on in their lives with relationships. I've done this in my own life where
been guilty.
Where you have real things going on you're struggling with, and you just mask it with, but it's okay, I'm in a good relationship, or it's okay, I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Like I'm ahead of somebody in this world because I'm here. And that's where I'm really going to kind of come from, definitely speaking to youth. Let's get healthy before we start dating. Let's understand how to have a solid relationship with God before we have a solid relationship with a female or male, right? Because I think that's where we're going to see the most success in it, is when you can understand like you're first attached to the vine, right? We're called to be attached to the vine, and that will be fruit. Attach yourself to the vine first before you start to attach yourself to somebody else. Those are those soul ties that get sticky when you begin to make these ties to people and other relationships before you have this solid relationship in God. And these are some of the things that I really want to talk about and wrestle with, because I just think it's so backwards in our culture sometimes, you know? Christian, thoughts on relationships coming from a young adult in our community. Are you single right now?
I am single.
You made a shout out for someone earlier. I didn't hear that.
What?
Like you shouted out a specific young lady. I
Dude,
think.
there's no way, dude.
Christian
totally
single. His
I am
Instagram's at Christian.
That's not what this is about. So.
Okay, honestly though, what's something that you would say, looking at your friends, other young adults? You're 19, right?
Yes.
You would say this is something I see as a struggle when it comes to relationships.
Yeah. I think something that is huge that I've seen as a struggle in relationships currently is boundaries. I mean, I know that's huge, and what we talk about is soul ties. But yeah, people like feeling like it's okay, or trying to find that satisfaction or fulfillment in someone else rather than God, and then that ends up being this emptiness, and they come back to their guy friends and they're just like bummed out, and they're like, why is this not fulfilling? And it's an easy answer. It's because you're not filling your heart and your mind with a relationship with God first, and then trying to find that in a woman or something like that, and it's tough. I think that's the biggest issue I've seen, and kind of the guys in my age group right now. But yeah,
for sure,
that's good.
Anything to add, Chandler?
Yeah, I think you just hit on a good point. Is we were created by God to have a relationship with God. I mean, look at Adam when he was created in the Garden of Eden, and then he created Eve so that he could have a complementary relationship on earth. So that relationship was never created to be our source of life. It was created so that we could navigate life on earth with a partner and with someone to like journey with. And it's never meant to be the person that like we receive value or like even like our understanding of our worth from. And so I think that's right on the head.
Yeah, I think maybe a misconception I've maybe wrestled with a little bit is maybe God is anti-relationships at points, or maybe God is like not for like you having a partner, or you have to do it right, or he's mad at you, or you have to like stay in this line, or he's mad at you. I kind of want to break that down a little bit, because you look at Genesis, the only thing God looks at when he's creating the world and he creates man, the only thing he looks at and says that's not good was when man was alone. You know, like we see then he creates Eve, and gives him a partner, so this is fit for you. So like I think what I'm trying to do with this series is maybe reshape our picture of what relationship between man and woman looks like from a biblical stance. Like in the beginning, that it is a good thing. It is a pure thing. It is a thing God created for us. It is something we should achieve to have in our life, and it is something we should strive to do well at. I just think there are so many convoluted voices from social media to everything going on in this world that's telling us to do it a different way. I think my prayer is just, God, can you break down some of the walls that the world's that put up, or maybe the enemies put up in the lives of our students,
Yeah.
Right.
and allow the word of God to pierce through that. Truth always pierces lies.
Yes.
And that's what I'm praying for this series, that soul ties are begin to be created around God and not just around people
That's
around
good.
them.
I like it.
Cool. Any other thoughts before we wrap this thing up? Because we got a service to do again this week.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
And I mean, I want to kind of lighten it up before
Do
we
it.
end, though.
Do it.
Ben, I want to know your most embarrassing relational moment.
Oh.
Forgot about this.
I know you did. I see it in the notes, and you skipped over. I feel like you skipped over it because I see what your answer is going to be.
Yeah. I'll go quick. I have a brother who's 18 months younger than me. That's not that much
I was
younger.
like, he's not 18 months old.
18 months younger than me.
Yeah.
I have a little baby brother. Yeah. The baby voice. Shout out Jackson, guitar player 19U. He knows who he is.
Legend.
Yes. Cam, my brother, is just a little bit younger than me. So we were always in high school together.
Right.
And I can remember this one time there was this girl I was talking to,
Mm-hmm.
and we're hanging out alone. And I'm about 18, senior in high school. This girl's
no
a
good.
senior in high school.
Nice.
And we're sitting in her car, and I remember her phone literally buzzes,
Stop.
and my brother's Snapchat pops up on her phone.
Oh my gosh.
And I look over, and I'm like, what is that? And she begins to tell me that she has been talking to both of us at the same time.
I mean, I can't blame her, but
you guys are a killer 1-2 punch of brothers. Like, if she's gonna do that, like, good on her.
Who's the winner,
dirty
who the
blonde.
loser here?
Yeah,
I don't really know.
exactly. Yeah.
Chandler, do you have anything embarrassing that has gone on in a relational aspect?
Yeah, I definitely. This is not the before I gave my life to the Lord was not the most shining part of my life, and so I would say probably my most embarrassing and moment that I cringe every time I think about it is I was driving. I was driving a girl that I had just actually broken up with, and before I was dropping her off where I was like, can I just pray for you? I had just become a Christian. Yeah, I just become a Christian, and I was like, I want to bless you. I don't know. I was a baby Christian. So I'm driving, I'm drop her off, and as I do, I'm like, I'm not gonna say names, but essentially, I started praying, and I said, "Dear Lord, I pray for blank," and I said a different girl's name.
Oh my god.
And all that in that moment, I lost all spiritual credibility. She's like, this prayer is not going to the Lord. You don't even pray to Jesus.
So many, he just lost track.
Yeah. No, definitely not true. But I remember just dropping her off, driving, and just being like,
Dear Lord, I pray for Rachel.
Oh my God. I am the scum of the earth is what I felt like after that. And I'm adamant now. I remember names Ben.
What's your girlfriend's name?
My girlfriend's name is Andrea. It's actually Andrea, but I call her Andrea.
Andy.
I know
Andy.
she
Shout
goes
out
by
Andy.
Andy, but I want her real name.
Yeah, Andy's
Shout out
awesome.
Andy.
Yeah.
Andy's
Yeah.
awesome. I think you found a
Hey,
winner.
Yes.
shout out Brooke. She's cool
Yeah,
too.
Shout out Brooke as well.
Awesome. Shout out my girlfriend.
Dude, shoot your shot.
I don't have one.
Shoot
But
your shot.
my future wife, if you're watching this, hello.
I think
I
she
love
is, bro. I
you.
think she
We're
is.
just gonna pray right now over Christian's future wife.
Come on.
Thank you
Yes, Lord.
guys.
Okay, I think that was successful. I think
love
that
it.
was fun.
That was
Let
a
us
fun
know what
first
you
one.
thought in the comments. We do want to add a segment where you can send us questions.
Yep.
Yes.
So we'll put the email on the screen. It's
Yep.
ben@daybreakchurch.org. So if you have any questions, topics, anything you want us to talk about,
Yeah,
debate,
we'd love
we
it.
don't have all the answers, but we want to talk about it at least.
Yes.
And we're going to have some guests on the show. We're going to have a lot of fun things planned for the first
Yep.
season. So thanks for tuning in to the Future Podcast Episode 1. We
Peace.
love you, and we'll see you at Daybreak Youth and Young
Adios.
Adults.
Love you guys.